Okay, Christian, since your mom hasn't been able to master the simple technique of French toast, I thought I'd show you. First of all, the ingredients. You're going to need 2 eggs, some butter, real butter's better, milk. I use skim, but of course you will use whole, and it will be better. A little salt, a little pepper, and if you're going to have syrup with it, make sure you use pure maple syrup. And important, before you get started on your French toast, in a small measuring cup, put some butter and syrup and put it in the microwave, ready to get it nice and melted and warm to pour on top of your French toast. Okay, let's get started. But first, let's talk a little bit about probably the most important ingredient, which is the bread. You want to use either day-old bakery bread, as I have here, sliced thick, or just some stale bread, regular loaf of bread type of stuff, but it should be dense and it should be thick sliced. You don't want to use thin sliced bread, and you don't want to use fresh bread ever. Ciabatta, brioche, something like that, nice and dense, might make good French toast. Okay, another really super important thing, as you see here, I've cracked my eggs and whipped them up nicely. Now you want to add the milk. One mistake many people make is putting way too much milk in the mixture. So I don't measure, I just pour a little like this. Enough, okay? You want it eggy, you don't want it milky. Now, I'm going to whip that up a little bit more, but first, I'm going to put in a pinch of salt. A pinch, let me do that again, is where you take your thumb and forefinger, pinch it, sprinkle it in. Now, I'm going to put what I call a grab of sugar. So you're going to use your 2 fingers and your thumb. Actually, let's do 3 fingers and thumb to get a nice grab. All right, I grabbed it. I'm going to throw it in. Okay, that's some more sugar there. That's going to give a nice little kind of caramelized finish to your toast. Okay, I'm going to whip this up. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and melt my butter in my pan. As you see here, I have 4 good pats of butter ready to heat up. Okay, now we're going to dip the bread in the mixture. It's all nice and mixed up. And by the way, I use, kind of a large bowl that I can fit my bread in well. So I'm going to drop that in one side, just kind of swoosh it around, get it good and soaked in there. Do the other side. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, not used to that. Got my butter all melted. So now I'm going to take my bread that's thoroughly dipped in the egg mixture and drop it in. Take my other piece, and I'm just using well, that's a little higher than I usually do. I'm going to do a medium heat on that. My other bread in here, get it good and coated. All right, and now I'm going to drop it in the pan on the other side and let the cooking begin. Put plenty of butter in there, so I shouldn't have to add more when I flip the bread. Okay, our toast is continuing to cook in all that lovely butter. And one thing I did forget to mention at the beginning was actually the very first thing you always want to do is pour yourself a nice big glass of milk and put it in the freezer. See, there's mine up there on top. So that when your French toast is ready, not only will you have hot syrup coming from the microwave to put on top, but you'll have an ice cold glass of milk to drink with it. And now it's time to lift up my bread and see what the bottom is looking like, and to see if it's time to turn it yet. Let's see. Ooh, that's looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Whoop. This one's not quite as done. We'll have to flip that one over again. Look how pretty that one's looking. Oh my, look at that beautiful, thick French toast. Garnished with strawberries, and now I'm going to pour my hot syrup over it. I'm going to grab my cold milk out of the freezer and enjoy. I hope that you've learned something, and if you'd like a personal demo, you come over anytime and let me know when you want to do it, and I'll have some Dale bakery bread ready for us. Love you, buddy.